Okay.
There's a king that's coming back to save our people. Now, we should be preparing ourselves for the return of our king, not stuck up in these denominations and religions that's destroying our people and destroying our nation.
So when we are in this kingdom and our brother and sister is doing wickedly in this kingdom, we must tell them, look, the world is expecting you to stay docile, to stay stupid.
That's what Christianity teaches our people. Teaches our people to hate one another and love the oppressor. Like, we'll never forgive one another for anything that another brother or sister do to us, but we'll forgive the oppressor in a heartbeat. There's something wrong with that, man.
Imagine living your life as a whole Christian your whole life, and life's good because you're a Christian and Jesus is white and everything's going great, and there's a landslide and the earth opens up and you go downstairs and you walk through this place and you see a black Jesus, man. Why is Jesus Christ black with an afro in the catacombs, man? This predates the Renaissance period.
So when you read the book of Genesis, the trees in the garden with other nations, a leaf, what does a leaf do to a tree? Cover the tree. So Adam took the covering of another nation. What's the covering of another nation? Their culture. So when the Most High saw him and said, yo, Adam, where are you, man? Why are you? Don't mean I can't find you. He was like, who is this nigga? Like that. Where are you, man? I don't know you.
Okay. So the Ba al Banya Yasha'ala wa Amarath al-Ham wa Idea Yahau. The Ba means speak. Al, when it's joined with something, so al Banya means what? Unto, right? Excellent. So al when it's joined with something means unto. Banya means children. Yasha'ala is Israel. So unto the children of Israel.
Like if it's one thing a hoe gonna do, a hoe gonna hold. But you ain't, she can't hold if there's nobody to hold with. And the thing she said at the end, where she said, I went back and I lied to him and he still wouldn't do it. And then she threw up her hands and she said, well, he'll just be a brother. That's what he need.
That's
brothers.
right.
If we have more brothers, hoes like her wouldn't have no outlet.
There was a man in the land of Oz, his name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright.
There you go, the man called Job. I think Job is what, that afflicted. And that man was perfect and upright, meaning what? You can be perfect, man. Job was a man like everybody else, man. Job wasn't no angel, he didn't come from the heavens, and that man was perfect, meaning what? You can be perfect in the Bible. Being perfect is in the Bible.
Had fringes on my coattail way before Jimmy. Funny how the general ain't even see a penny. Better show respect, get smoked like a chimney. Keep my name out your mouth, don't even think it. Send a real Smith, that y'all know Jada Pinkett. Both ball heads, my grain above 50. Lost my man to the game, that pain that stuck with me. Had to find a cheat.
Yo, I thought with a bomber clock to them boy, man. Bad mind never kill them. Suffocate to no pussy. Yo, status. Tell some boys we don't chat us. Anyway, my dogs go in on the street, them bad. Gun talking up with jeans member. If any somebody ever treat them bad, send the pussy them but meet them God. Louis V kicks, pan we feed them bad. Catch a new drip, dog we beat them bad. Look how we just come and we a beat them bad. You know sister we's them dad. Hey, but anyway though, this a no playground. The Glock 19, they have to stay round. Nah take no check with me payroll. Anything rise up, play down. Them a send check but they won't. Dog we will make it step if they don't. But at the same old, said them want smoke but the grabber done flame out. A couple gyal a come through. Gyal a WhatsApp what she gonna come to. She a give me tap and she swallow some juice. Gyal a suck cock till me Jonathan blow. Bentley van a come through. Convert to the drop top still have a sunroof. The dog them roll strap you want proof. Alright, wanna move. Anyway my dogs go in on the street them bad. Gun talking up with jeans member. If any somebody ever treat them bad, send the pussy them but meet them God. Louis V kicks, pan we feed them bad. Catch a new drip, dog they beat them bad. Look how we just come and we a beat them bad. You know sister we's them dad. Jeff say go fuck it up, so we fuck it up. Big up all of me friend them all who me never big up. All who know they are so, I ain't in a cup. Life shake up, you know me friend but I so big up. Greenfield say we tough, so we a famous. And all who a flip up and a lip up a fill it up. Girl pussy way buff, one give we a fuck. One the pussy boss, one her belly stuff with the fat cock. Nicky me give back shot really. Girl a bad hype up if you're not that pretty. Money say make you know him can't chat silly. Anything we beat we have a fat clock with it. Flick your bad with it, this a chop city. Anywhere we go, how we all lock that city. Money in a pocket, city, fat Billy. Don't come around if you're not from Billy. Anywhere me dogs go in on the street, them bad. Gun talking of jeans member. If any somebody ever treat them bad, send the pussy them but meet them God. Louis V kicks, pan we feed them bad. Catch a new drip, dog the beat them bad.
Right. Okay. Let's just get another thing. Get another crown. All right. Shalom. This is the ISUPK. All right. Under Commanding General Johanna. Started out at 125th Street, Harlem in New York. All right. We teach Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who they are according to the Bible. All right. In the week, we have classes. We have classes throughout the week. And from Monday, we have the law class done by Officer Mawasa, Officer Ariala. All right. Covering the law class, teaching the laws and the Bible. All right. These are things we must adhere to. If you're Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, this is our heritage. All right. On the Wednesday, we have the history class done by Officer Dangabar. Okay, bringing out heavy history on the Jacobites in Europe. All right, King James being black, all the history there, man. All right, you'll be surprised of the history. Blacks was in Europe, man. Yeah, they make it look like we was never here. All right, but that's not the case, man. I understand that's the history class on the Wednesday. On the Thursday, you have the scripture breakdown class. All right. So if you're reading the Bible throughout the week, anything you don't understand, you bring to that class. All right. Anything you want clarification on, you bring to that class. All right. That's a scripture breakdown class, and that's done by Captain Karafia. All right. And the ISUPK UK. And all that is in the school, Birmingham B18 5PW 394 Lodge Road. All right. So you can come down in person, it can be online, etc. man. Also Leicester, we've got classes in Leicester, and so on and so forth. So I know everyone in Leicester, shout out to Leicester. You understand, it's on the Lord's radar, as well as Birmingham, Brixton, Manchester, London, you know what I'm saying, Leicester, Gloucester. You understand? Everywhere where Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, which are the sons of Jacob, are, that's on the Lord's radar, all right? To gather his chosen people. That's the scripture breakdown class. All that's done in the school. Followed by on Friday, we have the Lashon Kodash. That's the holy language, the holy tongue, all right? The holy tongue in the Hebrew, which is the Lashon Kodash. That's done by Officer Alban in the ISUPK. All right, that's an online class. That's from 7 till 9. All these classes are 7 till 9. And we have followed by On the Ends radio show. So we have our own radio show also, bringing out topics, everything or anything that you might not have heard of. You check us out for that as well. Okay, that's the On the Ends radio show, and that's from 9 till late. All right. That's on the Friday, and then on the Saturday we have the Sabbath service. All right. Okay. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabbatah. On the Saturday we have the Sabbath service. All right, that's the Sabbath day. Okay. So we keep that holy by keeping the service of the Lord, and that's where all Blacks, Hispanics. If you're not in the Sabbath service in the ISUPK, what are you in, man? You understand? That's our holy day unto the Lord. All right. The Sabbath was made for man. It was made for us to be there, man. Made for us to keep the Sabbath. Also, you can keep it online. All right. All the time we have it online, man. In fact, that is an online. Sometimes we have it in the school, sometimes online. Either way, it can be online or it can be in the school. You know what I'm saying? So that's the Sabbath service. And this is what we're supposed to be in. This is what makes us of one mind. You understand? Like Christ, Christ and the apostles and the followers of Christ, they was all of one mind and one body, man. All right. So this is what we need to identify and recognize and strengthen. You understand? We need to strengthen the brotherhood, strengthen the love of the brethren once again. All right. So that's the Sabbath service again. Today we have the brotherhood class, man. All right. And this class is to strengthen the brothers, man. Give the brothers hope again. Teach the brothers how to be brothers. All right. Because we've lost that. You can see we're scattered in the belly of the beast. We're in Babylon the Great, and damn, we just fighting each other, man. All right, it's gender wars online, gender wars, the black male against the black female, and vice versa. That's Willie Lynch, man. Willie Lynch syndrome right there, man. Stockholm syndrome and Willie Lynch. You know, that perfection of the Willie Lynch letter, man. All right, how to make a perfect slave, man. All right, you know what I'm saying? Gender wars, and then we have postcode wars. We're just fighting each other. We just hating each other. We can't love our own. Even in the minds of the individual amongst our people. Like you'll turn to speak to you know, we speak to our people and we say, yo, we need to change and we need to, this is what we need to do, etc., etc. And I say, yeah, man, but or you know, we'll talk about what we need to do in order to be better. Right? Elaine the Payne is saying we need to buy black, etc., and boycott them, you know, what them name them Arabs and all them Asian shops and stuff like that, which is correct, man. All right, it's correct, man. If we want to build our house or build our superstores and so on and so forth, or if we want that, if we want good for ourselves, guess what we're gonna have to do, man? We're gonna have to buy within ourselves, man. Support each other. But we talk about it, and then it just goes right back to square one again. And that's the mind of the individual. That's the you and I mind, man. It's us. All right. We're the problem, not UPK. We're the solution. Us black people, Hispanics and Native Indian people, we're the problem why we can't rebuild. Now, when I say we're the problem, all right, there is a oppressor which is dividing and scattering the sheep, or dividing and scattering our nation. The oppressor he's the puppet master. All right, he's the one orchestrating all of that. However, we still have a part to play in our own demise, man. All right, this is what this class is about. Like, we can stop unaliving each other. We don't have to do that with the brethren, man. All right, and we can see past certain things, and we have to look past a certain thing, man. You know, the Bible says to turn the word of the Lord says to turn the other cheek. And this is not talking about the oppressors, because this Bible is not written by no Edomite. It's not written by no other nation. This is the word of our forefathers, man. Samuel is an Israelite. It's our forefathers. King David, Solomon, Christ. The prophets are our lineage. So when it's saying turn the other cheek, it's talking about to another brethren. And we're going to see this right here in a minute. All right, what I'm about to get into. We're going to see it, how to deal with demons in nightlife, right? Because we go out in the clubs and so on and so forth. And you got people out there with spirits, man. Not just drinking the spirits and getting over-toxicated where they can't control themselves. But there's also spirits on different people in this earth today, which causing them to do certain things. And they don't even understand how to counteract those demons that's on them. All right, there's a spirit on. If you're LGBT, you didn't just born. The Lord didn't make you an LGBT. There's a spirit. Somebody did something to you when you was younger, man, and put that spirit upon you. You understand? This is how it happens, man. These 304s ain't just randomly 304s, man. Someone did something to them when they was younger. All right. I was watching one podcast, and you know, a sister was saying how her dad, her dad's her best friend, man. You know what I'm saying? Dad was a best friend, and he was touching her daughter, man. Was it a 4-year-old daughter, man? All right. So these are things and that's going to put us, and she was, something happened to her. She didn't exactly say what it was. Something happened to her, though, when she was younger. You understand? So then It's showing you this is how these spirits jump on people. Okay. You know, if you get your first weed smoke, your first pulling that spliff when you was younger, man, right? And then you got high. But what do? You with your friends like, yo, nah, G, I'm cool. I did that same thing, man, myself. Yo, G, nah, everything, Chris, nah, that ain't touching me. You high as a motherfucker. You high as a kite, man, right? Yeah, can you relate to that, Radar? if you did that, I don't know, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're about.
Yeah, and we're high, right? We've been high. We've been in the world. We don't do that nonsense no more. We've done it. But guess what? When you're in the world, yo, you can't make a man see that XYZ. You got, yo, nah, I'm cool, man. I'm cool. What are you talking about? Nah, I ain't high. Yeah, we play that game, but yeah, we've been there. And we've done that, man. And that's why we don't have to go down. Our children don't have to go down the same road we went down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we don't have to do that. And generations after us don't have to fall in the same traps that we fell into. We had a Mossad gangland and all these criminals and all crimes, all types of crimes in the neighborhood. And you can't see them no more of our people. I see gangsters that was once they were gangsters, they're bigging up the other nations now. We unalived our own. And you know what? I saw one of them, they were saying, they were saying how, you know, when they was in that life, how one of them said the brother died and of our own people, no one helped them. Right? This is a whole different class, but I'll just briefly say this still. Like, no one helped them. Listen, how can you expect your own people to help you when you've been terrorizing each other, man? We've been terrorizing each other, yo. And then you expect me, you know, someone to just turn around and, what if I try and help him and next thing, whoever's running him down is, you know, emptying the barrel on me, right? And not just that, if you're terrorizing your own people, unaliving them and so on and so forth, no one's going to have no pity on you, man. That's the point. You want pity at the time when you ain't got none. This is the class for you, man. This is the class that's going to show you to have pity on your brethren, man. You understand? Pity on each other. So we can change. Because then let's say if our community saw the brethren as good, then guess what? They'll be looking to help him in any situation, in any case, every case. You understand? But if we seen each other, the time when the only time when we see problem is when we're in it. Let's say I'm in it. I'm in some situation, some hot water's going on around me, right? In my situation. Now I want help. Now I'm going to call for help. Yo, and no one helped me in the time when I needed some help. It's always the me situation. How about you helping somebody and change your life to help the rest of our people from now, so no one can so we're not selfish and no one can turn around and say, well, when I needed help, there was no one there. And then there'll be someone there for you when you need help next time. Because guess why? You help someone else. And you can help, I can help Radar, right? And then Radar might not turn around and help me back. But the Lord will have somebody else help me because I've helped someone else. See how it goes? So this is how it works, man. So we can't terrorize a neighborhood and then look for help. That doesn't make no sense. We're the terror in the neighborhood. The terror, everybody's scared of us, terrified of us, and then hate you because you're a terrorist, man. And then turn around and say you need some, you know what I mean? There was no one there for my brother, or there was no one there for me in times of trouble. But some other nation come along out of nowhere, and so, you know, all of a sudden they're the best thing since sliced bread, man. No, nah. See, that's the wrong way around. So we need to start to build within ourselves and see who and sieve out the traitors. Sieve out the traitors, man. Sieve out the ones that turn their backs on us. That's what works. All right. So we're not terrorizing nobody. We're helping each other. And those ones that don't want to help to build our nation and build us, sieve them out and get rid of them. All right. That's what we need to do. Okay. So yeah, that was just brief, meant to be brief. So lucky. Right. So let's get to the Brotherhood, man. Let's get me it's like it. First Samuel's 18 for me, Baba Kasha.
So lucky, what you say, sir?
First Samuel's chapter 18.
18.
This is a part 2 of following after the Leicester class, how to deal with demons in nightlife. All right, you go out in the nighttime and you're catching some problems. People don't know how to control themselves, don't know how to conduct themselves, etc. All right. You going out with demons in yourself, how to tackle the demons on yourself. All right. And overcome them demons. They go away and then they come back again, man. We have to keep fighting those demons. There's different types of demons on everybody. All right. And that's what we do in the ISUPK. By teaching this truth, you cast out demons. All right. Meaning you change the mind of the brethren. So it doesn't smoke weed no more. And you get rid of that weed demon. You kick that, kick that habit. You kick that habit, man. Guess what that habit is? That habit is a demon. You kick that demon, man. All right. And it's going to go away and it's going to come back, man. You got to keep fighting it and kick it away again, etc. Right. So that's these things in life, right? So like, look, oh gosh, man, the Epstein Islands, man. The Epsteins and the prince. No, it's not. Apparently, they denounced the prince from his name now, the title prince, but he's a royal. That guy.
Prince Andrew, isn't it?
Andrew, right? Prince Andrew, man. Edomite prince is not prince of our nation. Prince Andrew, man. All right, that of the royal house and the royal family. Those people there, man. And the fact that the Queen even funded the Epstein Islands and all these wickedness, that they've been doing this from centuries. This ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing new, man. It's just coming out in different times and different intervals, different cases and different situations. You know what I mean? This is how they've been. This is when they say that the Jewish man is what they call that when they put the mouth on the little boy's penis and suck the blood out and all that stuff. Was it
bar mitzvah?
Bar mitzvah right there. Yes, can't. That's the Epstein Islands, man. You know what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. There's nowhere in this Bible where you're supposed to put your mouth on no boy's penis, man. Nowhere in the Bible. Nowhere. Was that probably in the Talmud or something?
Yeah, the Talmud, isn't it? Talmud.
Which is another book that they wrote for themselves. That ain't got nothing to do with the Torah or the Tanakh. All right. So they ain't the children of the Most High God, man. They're the children of Epstein, man. They're all the same people. They're the Edomites that the Bible speaks of, which is the enemies of God's chosen people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. That's who they are. That's who they are. And they will do what their father does, man. All right. Their forefathers from Rome and Greece, they was doing those things, man. They was having all kinds of orgies and sexual deviancy going on in the Colosseums and everywhere, man. And that's what you see getting pushed out in this earth today again. They want to desensitize young babies, young girls and young boys and young whatever. They just want this earth to be a free-for-all for whatever the hell they want to do. All right. Hence why people bring their children to sit on Santa Claus's lap from Lapland, lap his legs around these little children. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Salakia too to laugh, man. It's disgusting, man. All right. And as an adult, you should know, if you're an adult and you're a female, you should know not to bring your female or your sons. This is a day where you can't. One time you used to look out for your daughters. The Bible says to have a keen eye over your daughters. Now you got to watch the sons and the daughters because Epstein is out, man. You understand? And he's spreading his island far and wide to every single other islands, man. You understand? And everywhere else in this earth. And this started from the Romans and the Greeks, right? The Greco-Roman Empire and all that. It's like, all right. So now, let me get into it. Right. First, Samuel's 18:1. Baba Kasha.
Book of Samuel's Book of 1 Samuel, chapter 18, verse 1. And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit,
right? Knit.
Yeah, knit with the soul of David.
Right. You know what that's called? For someone's soul to be knit with someone else's, do you know what that's called, Rida?
Does it mean like to say them two were like brethren, like them man a time?
Brethrens, man. Man. Yeah, can. Them two became brethrens because this is where after David is coming after David's coming back from the slaughter of the Philistines. It just took off Goliath's head, man. You understand? It just took off Goliath, just smoked Goliath in the temple with the rock, with the pebble, man. All right, with the slingshot, brush, and he's coming back from the and then he run up, grab Goliath's sword and smite it off, and smite it off Goliath's head with his own sword. All right. So now he's coming back from that war, man. All right. So now David's Jonathan's seen him coming back, and Jonathan rates David, man, respects David highly. You understand? Favors David, right? Two brethren right there, tightly knit. Boom. You get me? Like inseparable then, right? That's what they became as time goes on. Read on. And Slacky. I could have made you read that first, but never mind. The fact that what we're showing here also is we're showing brotherhood, and we're gonna show, and you're gonna see a demon on Saul. All right, this is about David trying to unalive King Saul as well, right? So Slacky, read that again. Read that, Baba Kishan.
And it came to pass when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul.
Right. And Jonathan loved him. You rate that brethren, man. Right? You know, in Yard, they said, man, I love man. We ain't gonna say we love man this and love man that and stuff like that. This love right here is brotherly love. It's respect. It's honoring that brethren. That's a type of love, and it's not just one type of love in this world. All right, we need to love each other, man. We need, you know, when you stop unaliving each other, that shows love, man. That shows love right there. When we stop hating each other and having these gender wars between us, we're gonna look, and that when we start seeing each other as the same people, as the same nation, that's love right there, man. You understand? That's what love is right there. Okay, in this context. Also, Jonathan loved David, man, and vice versa. They were brethren. You like the type of love where, or respect or honor where you even when, let's say, they get wives and so on and so forth. You know, Salaki, what the brethren say, like, we ain't gonna let no woman come between us, right? We're brethren, we're tightly knit. We're tightly knit brethren that we ain't gonna let no woman come in. Now I'm gonna love my wife, etc., but she's not gonna come in between us. Like, a woman ain't gonna come between us to tell me some BS, and then I'm gonna be like, oh, you know what, cut my brethren off. That's what it's talking about. So their love was knitted to his own soul, meaning he'll give his life for David. Christ loved us so much that Christ gave his life for us as a nation of people. That's the love what David had, as Jonathan had for David. Christ loved us so much that he laid down his life for his brethren. That's the love, or the same type of love that Jonathan had for David. His own soul, meaning his life, man. Right? He gave his life for David. Right? Read on.
Verse 2. And Saul took him that day, and would let him go no more home to his father's house.
And that day Saul took David, man. That same day Saul took David and wouldn't let David go back to his father's house, Jesse's house. Now David's living in the palace or near the whichever quarters of the palace, man. David's living amongst the royalty now. All right. And he became best friends with Jonathan. Read on.
Verse 3. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant because he loved him as his own soul.
He rated him because he rated him like he rates him his life, man. He put his life on the line for David. That's how much he rated David. All right. There's another term what you call that, man. Two brethren, you know what I'm saying? I can't remember the term what you'd say, but yeah. You know what I'm saying anyway.
It's not blood brothers you're trying to say. Is that
no, not that. But you could maybe use that, but it's not that. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay. But yeah, you could kind of use that. What's the blood brothers? Not when they cut the fingers and do that nonsense. It's not that,
yeah.
No. Nah. Right. They didn't do that foolishness. However, they were just you're my bread, you're my dog. You understand? We are brethren. That's it. I give my life for you. I respect you. I rate you, man. And likewise, read on.
Verse 4. And Jonathan stripped himself of the robe that was upon him and gave it to David, and his garments, even to his sword, and to his bow, and to his girdle.
And Jonathan, because Jonathan's a king, man. You know, Jonathan's got all the rich stuff. Imagine being around the was it the prince, the king's son, man. All the rich things that he's got, and then he took that off and put it on David, man. Gave him his bow, his gird, quality stuff, man. Right? Like when you got a brethren and you meet a brethren and you say, yo, I'm good bread at that, I'm good brethren this, man. And you take off, you might have some stuff and you ain't got it like that. You just say, yo, all that jacket there. All them clocks, yeah. You that. You get me? Take that belt, yeah. Them back in the days, you got them belts and shit. Have this, take that, man. You that. Right? That's the love right here, man. That's love, man. You get what I'm saying? Read on. This is what we need to come back to, man. And this ain't nothing to do like the little chitches in the Christian church, man. This ain't nothing like the fishes in the Christian church, the little choir boys and all that. This got nothing to do with that. All right. They trying to perverse the word of the Lord. You cannot perverse the word of the Lord. You're reading in the what they call Old Testament. In the Christian church, they're trying to make this of sexual deviancy. Remember that the Lord tore down Sodom and Gomorrah with fire and brimstone, man. Right? So if the Lord tore down Sodom and Gomorrah with fire and brimstone, then what's this right here, man? What's this what we're reading? It's got nothing to do with no LGBT. The mindset of the Christian church, they put that cognition upon this, and this ain't got nothing to do with that, man. So when you rate a brethren like, yo, I'm a dog this, my dog them I feel live. Po! My dog them I feel live, right? This is this, man. Rating the brethren, read on.
And David went out whithersoever so was sent him, and behaved himself wisely.
And David was wise. David was wise. David behaved himself wisely. Read on.
And Saul set him over the men of war.
And Saul set David over the men of war, man. Read on.
And he was accepted in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants.
There you go. So we didn't break no chichi man in Israel. So what you talking about? You can't make this no chichi of nothing of that sort. They rated David, man. David just slew Goliath, man. You understand? They rated King David. Saul rated him at that point. That's why I moved him into the house. He ain't gonna be in your father's house no more. Come live with. Put you in a better quarter than that, man. You're gonna be around the king now. Get me? The royal near the royal house now, and so on and so forth. Yeah. And then they, Jonathan, which is Saul's son, respected David, man. This is where you're gonna be. People love David, man. All right, read on.
Verse 6. And it came to pass as they came, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, that the woman came out of all cities of Israel singing and dancing to meet King Saul. The Tabrets.
The Tabrets, right? The Tabrets. Yes, the Tabrets can.
With joy and with instruments of music.
And there's music singing, man, and they came out playing music, because why do we? This is a song of the Lord, man. Singing the songs of Zion right here. Why? Because they just unalive the Philistines, man. They just triumphed over our enemies at this point. King David just triumphed over the enemy that wanted to put Israel under them, under submission, man. All right, and now they've got to submit now, because David just conquered them and took the head of Goliath, man. Took the head of their biggest lord, their strongest master amongst them. That's what David just done. And the women come out. The women are singing now unto David, man. Joyful noise unto the Most High. Read on. Not noise, joyful song unto the Lord, man. Triumphing over our enemies. Read on.
And the woman answered one another as they played and said, Saul have slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s.
Damn, and they like, yo, brr, so, how they're singing songs and saying, Saul have slain his thousands, man. Glory be unto the Lord. Saul has slain thousands, but David 10,000s, man. And this is what gonna make Saul feel away now. All right, Saul's gonna start to get jealous, and the Bible says jealousy is the rage of man, man. Hey, Radar? Yeah, come on. Jealousy is the rage of man, man. This is the demon that the jealousy demon that Saul allowed to creep upon himself, man. Saul allowed the jealousy demon to creep upon him. Right? Read on. I can't hear you, Radar, if you're reading. You might be on mute, you know. Oh, it's lucky. I didn't even know you dropped off. All right. Read on.
Verse 8. And Saul was very rough, and the saying displeased him.
Right.
And he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed but thousands.
But 1,000, man.
And can he have more but the kingdom?
Oh, damn. Saul's like...
Verse 9.
Hold on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hold on.
And forward.
You can't hear me. Can you hear me? No.
10. And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from God came upon Saul, and he prophesied in the midst of the house, and David played with his hand as at the other times, and there was and there was a
Oh, 1 second, just bear with me. If you can hear me in the chat, give me a can. All right. Rada. Yeah, you couldn't hear me. I was telling you to hold in it. So I'm not sure. Yeah, all right. Can. Yeah, I'll put you back on. No sweat. Yeah. All right. Sure. All right. That's the one. Can you hear me? Back up. Oh, that's okay. This one. Yeah. All right. Yeah, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Somehow, yeah, can. Somehow you couldn't hear me before when I was. All right, no sweat. Read lucky. Where was it? 8. Read that.
Start from 8,
again.
yeah?
Can. Read 8 again. 8 again.
And Saul was very wrath, and the saying displeased him, and he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom?
Right. So Saul's getting worried, right? He's getting jealous and worried, man, at the same time, right? So he's looking at David, slaughtering man, took man's head off, Goliath's head off, come back, all the women's praising him. He's getting all the glory and the accolades, man. You get me? The woman come out taking the mic, talk about Saul has slayed his thousands, yay! But David is 10,000, man. So I'm saying, so Saul heard that, and Saul's like, damn, what? If he's going on like that, what more can he get, man? He's gonna take my position. He's gonna get the kingdom. Like after a while, he's worried that people start saying, we want David to be king now. We don't want you, Saul. We want David to be king now. Right? That's what he's getting worried about. But you don't need to worry about that, because why? If the Lord is with you, the Lord is with you, man. You understand? That's the point. But he's going to do something that's going to get the Lord against it. When you hate your brethren, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, that puts the Lord against you, against us, man. See that? And that's what Saul is going to do. And we're going to read it to the end. Hopefully we'll get to the end. All right, let's go from there. Jump to 20 and 1. 20 and verse 1 and down. I was going to let you read and where we get you with it.
First Samuel, chapter 18, verse 21.
20 verse 1. 20. We just done 18.
Oh, so 20 verse 1. So that
can. Yeah, we just done 18. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. 20 verse 1. And David fled from Naioth in Ramah,
yeah.
Ramah, and came and said before Jonathan, what have I done? What is my iniquity?
All right. So it comes to from Saul starting to get envious now of David with that, right? So it's like, damn, the women are singing 10,000 to David, 1,000 to me. What more can he get, man? The kingdom. All right, he's gonna get the kingdom if I don't put a stop to it. That's what it's on his mind. All right, but that's not how you keep the kingdom, man. You keep the kingdom by being brotherly. You keep the kingdom by serving the Lord, man. All right. Read on.
Khan. And what is my sin before thy father, that he seeketh my life? Verse 2. And he said unto him, God forbid, thou shalt not die. Behold, my father will do nothing, neither great or small, but that he will show it me.
Right? The Lord, my father, the king, he ain't going to do nothing unless it reveals it to me, man. He ain't gonna do nothing, whether it's great or it's a small thing. I'm gonna know. I'm gonna find it out first. And remember, it's good to have a right hand man in times of trouble, man. You understand? It's good to have a brethren in times of trouble. The Bible says that it's great to be in the presence of brethren, man. Right? It's a righteous thing to be in the presence of brethren. This is that right there. You got having a good brethren or good brethrens. You understand? It's a good thing. All right. Read on.
And why should my father hide this thing from me? It is not so. Verse 3. And David swore moreover and said, Thy father certainly knoweth that I have found grace in thy eyes.
So David, Jonathan is not aware of how David is aware. David's a man of war, in it. So David's thinking different, and David's not from an old royal house. You know how like the good lad. David's not the good lad. David's grown up rough, man. David's had to fight off lions and bears and all that from his sheeps. So David grown up rough. David ain't grown up in the royal house and being all soft and innocent, so-called innocent, right? Whereas, so he can perceive. David can perceive certain things what Jonathan can't, man. David saying, "Look, man, your father's looking to unalive me, man. What's his problem? What's the sin of what wrong have I done unto him?" And Jonathan saying, "Nah, I ain't like that, man. My dad ain't thinking like that." Right? But that is the case. We're going to find out. Read on.
And he saith, Let not Jonathan know this, lest he be grieved. But truly, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, there is but a step between me and death.
There's just a step between me and death, man. Yeah, your father is looking to unalive me, man. But he don't want to let you know, because why? Remember when they first met, he saw that his soul was knit with David, right? His soul was knit. The brethren's brotherhood was tight with them. So Saul didn't want to let Jonathan know, because if Jonathan knows, Saul knows that if Jonathan knows, then he's gonna go and tell David. You get me? Saul knows that, man, right? And so on. So yeah. You know what I mean? But read on as fast as you can. Yeah, we're gonna cut through this. You're reading down to 13, but we've got a lot to go through. So, and the time seems to be running fast. So, if you could just chop through that, Baba Kushia.
Verse 4. Then said Jonathan unto David, Whatsoever thy soul desireth, I will even do it for thee. Verse 5. And David said unto Jonathan, Behold, tomorrow is a new moon, and I should not fail to sit with the king at meat. But let me go, that I may hide myself in the field unto the third day at eve. Verse 6. If thy father...
Let me go on. I'm not coming to the feast. Let me go and hide myself, because I can see that evil's determined, you know what I'm saying, by Saul, man, by King Saul. Read on.
Khan. If thy father at all miss me, then say, David earnestly ask leave of me that he might run to Bethlehem, his city, for there is a yearly sacrifice there for all the family. Verse 7. If he say thus, it is well, thy servant shall have peace. But if he be...
Right. So David is testing, is sent Jonathan, and this is a way of testing if his dad, if King Saul is angry with him or not, man. So he said, look, just tell your father that I'm going to check my brethren. in my hometown, in my right, in my in my hometown, right? And if he says peace, then it's all good, man. But read on.
But if he be very wrath, then be sure that evil is determined by him.
Right, and this is how you're gonna know. If he says peace, then it's all good, man. But if he's rough, if he's lucky, if he's angry, then you're gonna know that. Then you should be sure that evil's determined, man. That's how you're gonna know he's seeking my life. He's seeking to unalive me. That's how you're gonna know, man. All right. Clever ways of testing or checking. You know what I'm saying? Again, like I said, David's smart, man. David's on the ball. Most of us are not got. David's a street dude, man. In other words, you know what I mean? David's aware of his surroundings and so on and so forth. Go on, read on.
Verse 8. Therefore, thou shalt deal kindly with thy servant, for thou hast brought thy servant into a covenant of the Lord with thee, not understanding if there be in me iniquity, slay me thyself.
Right? If you find iniquity in me, slay me yourself, man. Right? Who's that speaking? Is that David? Or Jonathan? Evil. Who was that?
David, I think.
David. What which verse are you at? 10 or where is it?
No, I'm at 8. Just near the end of 8.
All right. Read on. Yeah.
Slay me thyself, for thy shouldest thou bring me unto thy father.
Right, exactly. Read on. That's David. So if there's iniquity in me, slay me yourself, man. If I'm sinning against your father, then slay me yourself or bring me to him. Read on.
Come verse 9. And Jonathan says, far by it from thee, for if I knew certainly that evil were determined by my father to come upon thee, then would not I tell it thee.
Right. So he's saying, look, man, trying to set maybe you know what's going on. He's saying, nah, man, far be it from you to think that way. If I knew evil's determined from my father to come upon you, I'll tell you, man. Right? Because why? The brethrens, man. That's why it's good to have good brethrens, man. Good to have good brethrens. Not going to sell you out. You understand? That's what this ISUPK is all about, man. All right? Not going to sell you out for a plate of rice. I'll sell you down the river, man. All right? Not going to sell you like Joseph's brethren sold him into Egypt. Right? We ain't going to sell our people out. This is the only place of safety. This is the sanctuary of the Lord in the ISUPK, man, since 1969, man. All right? Read on. This is a place where blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians come, man.
Come, verse 10. Then said David to Jonathan, who shall tell me, or what if thy father answered thee roughly? And Jonathan said unto David, come, and let us go out into the field. And they went out, both of them, into the field.
And they went out to commune. This is what's going to go down. That's what go on, read on.
Verse 12. And Jonathan said unto David, O Lord, God of Israel, when I have sounded my father about tomorrow, any time, or the third day, and I behold, if there
that sounded, when I have sounded my father, means searched out, right? Search out. I'm gonna test him. I'm gonna see what he's about. I'm gonna do what David said. I'm gonna do and see how he reacts. I'm gonna search him out. Read on. Sound him. Read on.
My father about tomorrow time.
And wait, too, like in yard, when I say son up a man, you go by him yard and say, yo, such and such, you call him by his name, right? You're sounding him, man. Yo, Where they on? Where I deal with, right? That's sounding a man and seeing what they run. That's what Jonathan's gonna do with his father. Read on.
Khan. Or the third day, and behold, if there be good toward David, and I then send not unto thee, and show it thee. Verse 13.
Okay, wait, what did it say? If it be good, if there be good towards David, and I then send not unto thee, and show it thee. Read on.
Can the Lord do so, and much more to Jonathan? But if it please my father to do thee evil, then I will show it thee, and send free away, that thou mayest go in peace, and the Lord be with thee, as he have been with my father.
Right. So and what's up in father? Nothing. Peace and the Lord be with thee as as he has been with my father, right? So if it's evil determined upon you, I'll come back, let you know, I'll give you signs, let you know, and then you can go, right? Because David can't just leave as well, right? Because he's on the Jonathan and he's on the Saul. You know what I mean? So yeah. But we're jumping to 16 and 16 down to 34. Jump to 16.
Verse 16. So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David, saying, let the Lord even require it at the hand of David's enemies. Verse 17.
So David, Saul's house, or Jonathan's house, that's the tribe of Benjamin, right? With the Caribbeans today, right? Predominant the Caribbean today. That's the house of Saul. Jonathan, Saul's son. The house of David today will be the Jews in America, the black Israelites, the black so-called what can I put there? So-called Nigers in America, all right? The black people in America, they are the tribe of Judah. They'll be the house of Judah, right? In today's time. So Jonathan saying, read it again, but
So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David, saying, let the Lord even require it at the hand of David's enemies.
Right. So in other words, if I turn against you, let the Lord require at my hand also. That's what Jonathan's saying. Right. I ain't gonna let you down. That's what Jonathan's saying. Right. We're brethren, man. Even though it's my dad or my father, whatever, I'm still gonna do right because I know he's in the wrong. I know the Lord, because you're saying what wrong have you done? There is no wrong, right? And then he's saying if my father was gonna do evil against you, Jonathan's saying, then I would know it, man. But then this hold on, how's my dad holding stuff from me now? That's a bit strange. He's gonna find out, man, right? And so on. But read on.
Verse 17. And Jonathan caused David to swear again, because he loved him, for he loved him as he loved his own soul. Then Jonathan said to David, tomorrow is a new moon, and thou shalt be missed, because thy seat will be empty.
So he ain't gonna come to the banquet or to the new moon, Salakia, right? Which is a gathering. All right, your seat's gonna be empty, man, in the palace. All right. You're gonna be missed, man. Read on.
And when thou hast stayed 3 days, then thou shalt go down quickly and come to the place where thou didst hide thyself when the business was in hand, and shall remain by the stone. Was that Israel?
Read on.
Verse
Oh,
20. And I
same
will
place where it is hid before, hide there again. So, yeah.
and I will shoot 3 arrows on the side thereof, as I shot at a mark.
And these are going to be the signs where you're gonna know that evil's determined against you, right? That you're correct. David is right now, right? So
And
this is how you're gonna
behold,
know. The fire tree arrows, boom, 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 and then David's gonna see that and realize, okay, boom, this is the situation. Read on.
and behold, I will send a lad, saying, Go, find out the arrows. If I expressly say unto the lad, Behold, the arrows are on this side of thee, take them, then come thou,
So
for
he's
there
showing us.
is peace.
So he's showing a sign. He's saying, "Look, the arrows are on this side." This is what he's shouting to the lad. So the lad's going to fetch the arrows, and he's saying, "The arrows are on this side of thee." So David can hear it. You get what I'm saying? That's, you know what I'm saying? Wade in the water. You know, all of them slave spirituals, right? So our people knew what to do. Wade in the water. That's what David's doing here. So when he fires the Jonathan's doing here, when he fires. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
So like yes. Yeah. Good to go. All right, read on.
Let me see. I was, and then came thou, for there is peace to thee, and no hurt, as the Lord liveth. Verse 22. But if I say thus unto the young man, Behold, the arrows are beyond thee, go their way, for the Lord have sent thee away. Verse 23. And a touching the matter which thou and I have spoken of, behold, the Lord be between thee and me forever. Verse 24. And David hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was come, the king sat him down to eat meat, and the king sat upon his seat as at other times, even upon a seat by the wall. And Jonathan arose, and Edna sat by Saul's side, and David's place was empty. Nevertheless, Saul spake not anything that day, for he thought something had befallen him. He is not clean. Surely he is not clean.
So that's what Saul is thinking. David's not here because he's unclean. He's not clean. Surely he's not clean. This is why he's not come, right? But obviously we know why. Read on.
Verse 27. And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the second day of the month, that David's place was empty. And Saul said unto Jonathan his son, Wherefore cometh not the son of Jesse to meet, neither yesterday nor today? And Jonathan answers Saul, David earnestly asked to leave of me to go to Bethlehem. Verse 29, and he said...
So Jonathan's telling Saul why David's not there. So it said David has to leave. So where's the son of Jesse, man? He wasn't here yesterday and he ain't here today. Right? So it said he asked me leave. He asked leave of me to go to Bethlehem. Right? Read on.
And he said, Let me go, I pray thee, for our family have a sacrifice in the city, and my brother, he have commanded me to be there. And now, if I have found favor in thy eye, let me get away, I pray thee, and see my brethren. Therefore he cometh not unto the king's table.
So that's why he's not here, man. That's why he wasn't here yesterday, and that's why he's not here today. Because he asked me leave. But what Saul knows, remember, they're good friends, innit? So Saul knows all of that. So you know, Saul's like, okay, but he can only take his word for it. But he gets the read on.
Verse 30. Then Saul's anger was kindled against Jonathan, and said unto him, Thou son of the perverse, rebellious woman, do not I know that thou hast chosen the son of Jesse to thy own confusion?
So now he's like, you've chosen David over me, man. That's what I say. Son of the perverse woman. It says, you chose David over me. That's basically what he's saying. So Saul perceives all of that. You let him go. I'm trying to get him so I can unalive him, etc. You let him go, man. But read on.
And unto the confusion of thy mother's nakedness. Verse 31. For as long as the son of Jesse liveth upon the ground, thou shalt not be established, nor the kingdom. Wherefore now send and fetch him unto me, for he shall surely die. And Jonathan answered Saul his father and said unto him, Wherefore shall he be slain?
Right, so he said, Don't get him and bring him to me, he shall surely die, man. So so Jonathan said to his father, Why do you want to unalive him? What's the reason for unaliving him? Read on.
What have he done? And Saul cast a javelin at him to smite him. whereby Jonathan knew that it was determined of his father to slay David.
So that's when he saw it, man. He knew from then. He cast a javelin at Jonathan. You know what I'm saying? You can imagine how angry he was. Trying to get David. He cast a javelin at his own son, man. He's thinking in his mind that David's gonna get the kingdom, man. Right? And sometimes when you're thinking something's in your possession and you think someone's gonna get it, there's no point in trying to fight. Well, it's the way you fight. You can't fight with against the Lord, man. He's fighting, he should have just remained in his position. Right? There's a demon that was on him that's causing him to fight his own brethren. That's not how you keep the kingdom. See, like how the heathens fight each other, and what was it? One of them, and Alexander the Greek took over and they split the kingdom in his 4 generals, and one of the other ones fought against Ptolemy. Can't remember who it was that fought against Ptolemy. Can't remember who fought against Ptolemy and caused him to flee. They're fighting each other. That's not how you keep the kingdom, man. All right, that's not how we keep the kingdom. That's how the heathens operate. All right, we keep the kingdom. You see how David behaved himself whenever Saul sent him here and there. Saul's hoping for the worst to happen to him, but David's smart, wise, and behaved himself amongst the people, man. And that's why they love David. And so just because of those things, Saul start getting jealous. And jealousy is the rage of a man. And you start to rage until what? Jealousy also, you want to unalive your brother out of jealousy and rage, man. This is where Saul's at. And that's a demon that can creep on anybody. All right? You're not supposed to, you're supposed to fight that demon, man. Keep that demon at bay. That's why the Bible says if you got anything against your brethren, you go to D and D alone. You're supposed to go to that brother and fix it, because David don't know why Saul is against him. What did I do wrong to you, man? Right? What is it? Saul don't know. David don't know why Saul is against him. He's trying to find out from Jonathan because he's the mediator between the two. That's his father and that's his best friend. You know what I mean? And yeah, so he's figured it out now. But for what reason though? You still don't know the reason behind it. And that's because Saul got jealous from the women saying David slayed his Saul is thousands and David is 10,000s, man. Saul's getting like, damn, he's getting angry, like he's gonna take the whole kingdom, man. Gonna take the whole kingdom. He's not supposed to think like that, man. Like, you know, if someone's got something great and good and so on and so, the Lord blessed them with that, man. If so, and that's how, see how David saw it. David saw it just like that, man. The Lord is the Most High has put you in power, king. You're the king. David's showing him reverence and everything. But read on. We're gonna catch up on that anyway. Read on. It's time.
Khan, verse 34. So Jonathan arose from the table in fierce anger and did eat no meat the second day of the month, for he was grieved for David because his father had done him shame.
So he put shame now because one, he didn't even know, man, and he didn't know those evil determined against his best friend, and now it's like you got a best brethren and then you got your father. You can't really. It's hard to choose, man. You see what I'm saying? It's hard to choose, but then how do you choose? You choose by who's operating in the spirit of the Lord or the spirit of brotherhood. You choose by who's operating in the spirit of brotherhood. See how David is operating? He behaved himself. He ain't trying to unalive Saul, but Saul's trying to unalive him. So there's a spirit on Saul, which is an evil spirit to make you want to do that with your brother, man. All right, against your brother, against your brethren. All right. What will make you want to sell your brother out? What, 30 pieces of silver? Like Judas sold Christ out for 30 pieces of silver. You know, after he done that, it's for that 30 pieces. Now it sounded good at first. Yo, man can get 10 bags, man. 10 bags, G. Man can do this, do that. And then after that, when you get it, you feel like crap. The demons left you, man. The demons came in your mind, like, yo, yeah, man, I can do this, and let's gang up on such and such, and then after when the demon leaves you, man, he went and hung himself, man. What was the benefit of the 30 pieces of silver? He came to the apostles and he casted it down at their feet, and he walked off, man, and went and hung himself, unalived himself. That's the demon, man. When it leaves you, you don't know what to do with yourself, man. You're going to unalive yourself. You know, robbing people's, trying to take people's lands and people's this and people's that, people's goods, grudging a neighbor for his wife, all those things, man. Now, you might get that woman, but guess what's going to happen down the line, man? She's going to leave you for someone else. You understand? these hoes ain't loyal. So look, his real boys ain't loyal. You know what I mean? He's going to leave you for somebody else, man. Right? So we need to fix brotherhood, man. But the brotherhood should be stronger than anything. Just like how Jonathan and David's brotherhood was strong, man. Their friendship was strong, man. You understand? All right. Read on.
Carl. And it came to pass in the morning that Jonathan went out.
Is that Snacky? Where you up to?
35.
No, that's it on that. Right. Jump down to 42. Baba Kashara. 42. Mm-hmm.
1 Samuel chapter 20, verse 42. And Jonathan said to David, go in peace, for as much as he has sworn both of us in the name of the Lord, saying, the Lord be between me and thee, and between my seed and thy seed forever. And he arose and departed.
Forever, right? So they made a covenant. They made a covenant between each other, man. There'll be peace determined between the two of them. All right. Abraham and Lot made. Abraham and Lot made peace, like similar to same as that, man. Right? Brotherly covenant between them. Right? I won't harm you, you don't harm me. And this pass on through our generations. All right. So let's just jump from there to 23 and 5.
All right.
23 and what shall I bother with? Let me see.
1 Samuel chapter 23, verse 5. And David said, and his men went to Keilah and brought with the Philistines and brought away their cattle and smote them with a great slaughter. So David saved the inhabitants of Keilah. And it came to pass that, it came to pass when
Abimelech. No. Slack, where you up to? Where you up to? Just tell me where you up to.
Verse 6. 23, verse 6. 6.
Oh,
where
6.
It says when
Abimelech, yeah. Khan.
Ahimelech,
yeah.
Ahimelech, the son of Hamichi, fled to David to Keilah, that he came down with an Emhod, ephod in his hand.
So, we're gonna skip this for time's sake, because this time is just, I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna skip that for time's sake. Jump down to 24 and 1. I'll skip that one. 24 and 1.
1 Samuel chapter 24, verse 1. And it came to pass when
Yeah.
Saul was returned
Yeah.
from following the Philistines, that was told him, saying, Behold, David is in the wilderness of Ingia. Verse 2. Then Saul took 3,000 chosen men out of all of Israel and went to seek David and his men upon the rocks of the wild goats. And he came to the sheepcote by the way. There was a cave, and Saul went in the cave, his feet, and David and his men remained inside of the cave. And the men of David said unto him, Behold, the day of which the Lord said unto thee, Behold, I will deliver thy enemy into thy hand, that thou mayest do to him as it shall seem good unto thee. Then David arose and cut off the shirt of Saul's robe privately, and it came to pass afterwards that David's heart smote him because he had cut off Saul's skirt.
Right, that's his garment, the edge of the bottom, the edge of his garment.
Yeah.
So, or the hem of his garment. So, yeah, it felt a bit troubled, like it felt a bit like, damn, I shouldn't be doing this, man. Yeah. So David's brotherly, man. So trying to unalive him, man, and David ain't even retaliate. It didn't, yeah. David didn't even unalive Saul. He didn't take his life. He just cut off his garment. I'm already feeling sorry. So that shows brotherhood right there, man. All right, read on.
And he said unto his men, The Lord forbid that I should do these things unto my master, the Lord's anointed, to stretch forth my hand against him, seeing he is the anointed of the Lord.
Right, he's the anointing of the Lord, man. I shouldn't do this thing. Read on.
Verse 7. So David stayed his servants with these words and suffered them not to rise against Saul. But Saul rose up out of the cave and went on his way. David also arose towards and went out of the cave and cried after Saul, saying, My lord, the king. And when Saul looked behind him, David struck with his face to the earth and bowed himself. And David said to Saul, Wherefore hearest thou men's words, saying, Behold, David seeketh thy hurt?
So Saul is listening to other people saying, David seeketh thy hurt, man. So again, you got people talking in Saul's ears, right? That's why the Bible says, don't go around as a talebearer telling lies, right? David ain't trying to unalive Saul, but this is what telling Saul, man, and whoever else is telling Saul these lies, and Saul is believing in those things. All right, David saying it's not so, man. Do you have to go exactly at the time, or it's a while for a bit?
You can do a little, just a little bit over, not too much. Go.
Yeah, like 5 or so, man. Yeah, no sweat.
Yeah.
All right, read on.
That's for what. And behold, the day thy eyes have seen how that the Lord have delivered thee today unto my hand in the cave, and some bade me kill thee, But my eyes spared thee, and I said, I will not put forth my hand against my Lord, for he is the Lord's anointed. Verse 11. Moreover, my father, see the skirt of thy robe in my hand, for in that I cut off the skirt of thy robe, and kill thee not. Know thou to see that there is neither evil nor transgression in my hand, and I have not sinned against thee, yet thou huntest my soul to take it. The Lord judge between me and thee, and the Lord avenge me of thee, but my hand shall not be upon thee. Verse 13.
Okay.
As saith the proverb of the ancients, wickedness pursueth from the wicked, but my hand shall not be upon thee. Verse 14.
Right. So that's it. That's it. So let's get to 26 and verse 3. So David saying, my hand ain't gonna be upon you, man. Wickedness proceed from the wicked, but I ain't gonna harm you, right? I ain't gonna bring no harm upon you. That's what David's saying. 26 and 3.
Khan. And so pitched in the hill of Hichaliah, which is before Jeshimon.
Yeah, just read on. Just read on. Don't
By
worry
the
about
way,
it.
but David abode in the wilderness, and he saw that Saul came after him into the wilderness. David therefore sent out spies and understood that Saul was come in very deed. Verse 5. David arose and came to the place where Saul had pitched, and David beheld the place where Saul lay. And what's that? Abinah, the son of Ner, the captain of his host, and Saul lay in the trench, and the people pitched around about him. Then answered David and said to him, Ahimelech the Hittite, and to Abishai, the son of Abishai, the son of Zerizah, the son of Joab, Zariah, the son of Joab, saying, who will go down with me to Saul to the camp? And Abishai said, I will go down with thee. So David and Abishai came to the people by night, and behold, Saul lay sleeping within the trench, and his spear stuck in the ground at his bolster. But Adnah and the people lay around about him. Verse 8. Then said Abishai to David, God hath delivered thy enemy unto thee, and this day. Now therefore let me smite him. I pray thee with thy spear, even to the earth at once. I
All
will
right.
not smite him the second time.
No sweat. All right, we're gonna go from the. I'll get the next one, and then you can get the final one. So, that's the second time, right? That's all another time that David could have slew Saul. It's another time that David. There was a time in the cave, and there's this time in the trench right here, man. Like where David could have slew Saul another time again. Because Saul kept coming after David, trying to unalive David for no apparent reason, man. Just that the demon was on Saul, man. All right. And prior to that as well, the spirit of the Lord left Saul, man. All right. Oh, it's this one here. Actually, it's this one. Right. I'm gonna read 28 and 3. 28 and 3. Now Samuel was dead, and all Israel had lamented him, and buried him in Ramah, even in his own city. And Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. So these is got the Lord commanded Saul to unalive all the witches, man, all of those that necrophilium, go to Obeah, and witchcraft and wizards and palm readers and the horoscopes and all that nonsense. The Lord got Saul to get rid of those out the land, man. All right. Because when you got these people around you, you don't serve the Lord. You don't put your trust in the Most High. You put your trust in the Obeah, man, the witchcraft worker or the whatever, which don't make no sense because they're just robbing your money, man. There's no difference in the Christian pastor and the Christian church. You put your trust in the Christian pastor, and what do you get? No, nothing, man. You get jugs on your neighborhood. Your daughter's swinging on poles, man, walking around. You get thugs. Thugs. You get so-called gangsters walking around with the biggest Christian cross on the neck, and they will do anything, unalive anybody, and so on and so forth. But yet they're a Christian. They ain't got the spirit like what David's got. They got the spirit like what Saul's got, trying to unalive their brethren and hate their brethren for no reason. We need to have that spirit what David had right here, man. All right. And the Philistine, Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and wizards out of the land, and the Philistines gathered themselves together and came and pitched in Shunem, and Saul gathered all Israel together, and they pitched in Gilboa. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. And when Saul inquired of the Lord answered him not. So when Saul went to the priest, i.e. Samuel, right, the Lord didn't answer Saul, man. So the Lord's spirit departed from Saul. It wasn't with Saul anymore, because you're trying to unalive your brother for no reason. You hating your brother in your heart for nothing at all. We need to stop this. This is in our communities all over, man. And these are things we need to stop so we can grow and be better, man. All right. Right, so reading on. Saul was the host of Philistine trouble, and when Saul inquired of the Lord answered him not, neither by dreams nor by Hurim, nor by prophets, nor by Samuel or anything. What he tried to. Then said Saul unto his servant, seek me a woman that has a familiar spirit. Now Saul went to this witch, man, and Saul went and dabbled into witchcraft, which he shouldn't have. He got the long and short. He told the witch to conjure up Samuel, to bring up Samuel's spirit. All right, because at that point Samuel was dead. Salaki, I forgot to mention that. Samuel was dead at that point, so he went to the witch to conjure up Samuel's spirit, which the Lord tells we ain't supposed to seek familiar spirits, man, witches and wizards and all that nonsense. We ain't supposed to be in partakers of those things, and because of that, you're gonna find that the end result, on top of him pursuing David, got the spirit of the Lord taken away from him. The Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul because Saul was being jealous and envious, man. If you see people online and doing all the most in this world today, the Spirit of the Lord is departed from them. They're all over the place. Social media has become their God. You understand? They got to go on there and vent and say bad things about men, and men's got to go on there and say bad things about women and all different things. And whoever's flying out to wherever and so on and so forth. We need to gather ourselves together so we can strengthen and build and strengthen back our nation together, man. Because we're just continuing in the ways of what the oppressors have taught us, and all that needs to stop. All that needs to change. So read that what you've got, Baba Kashar. Well, 30 Slacky, I didn't tell you what to get yet, did I?
No, you didn't tell me what to get.
No, no sweat. 31. Jump to 31, verse 1. All right, Samuel 31 and 1. All right, this is the fate of King Saul now.
First Samuel chapter 31, verse 1. Now the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled from before the Philistines and fell down, slain in the Mount Gilboa. And the Philistines followed hard upon Saul and upon his sons. And the Philistines
upon Saul, the Philistines, these are Hamites, man. These are the Africans. They've attacked Saul, man. They fell hard upon Saul and upon his sons, because the Spirit of the Lord had departed from Saul at this point. And imagine, right? This is again in the black neighborhood amongst blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We're unaliving each other. We're hating each other. Imagine. I say that all the time. Like, you unaliving the strength of your camp. You unaliving the strength of your nation when you unalive that brethren, man. That brethren could have been fighting side by side with you against nations that hate us, man. Right? Or that brother could be siding with you in watching over our nation of people so we're not harmed. So we don't get, our children don't get stolen and taken to the Epstein Islands, man. Our sons and daughters don't get stolen and taken to the Epstein Islands and things like that. Right? Having to be under submission under these nations' hands. Right? But we'll be strong enough that we can govern our own selves, and we don't need nobody to tell us what to do, man. You understand? How about we stop those slanging and banging on the corner, man? How about we stop swinging off the poles and things like that and become wives to the husbands, man, and become husbands to the wives, man, to our wives, man. You understand? And raise our family in the right way. Right? How about we stop chasing down the what is it, 204s? 304s, lucky. I'm changing the numbers. You know what I'm saying? How about we stop chasing those 304s down, man? All right? And instead of treating the sisters as harlots, let's treat them as wives, man. All right? Let's change the minds of the sisters and ourselves so we can become a better nation. All right? A godly nation, a royal priesthood, a house of priests, man, a holy nation, a nation where another nation don't have to look at us and go, my God, look at those disgusting people, man. How about we become a better people? And don't point hands at somebody else saying, well, look at, they're not changing, man. They just ain't changing. You be the first fruit, man. You be the change. We are the change right here in the UPK. I didn't look at nobody else, or we didn't look at nobody else and say, well, yeah, they're not changing, and and then you're not making no changes. This is the change, man. Coming into the UPK, this is the change. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and our children is going to be raised right, man. All right, read on. It's lucky for the time as well. Read on.
And the Philistines slew Jonathan.
Look at that, man. The Philistines slew Jonathan. That's David's brethren, man. It's David's best friend right there, man. You understand? Read on. And because of Saul, man. Because of his father, man. All right, the evil that he intended towards David got his own life took, and his son's lives also took, man. The fact that he went to inquire of a witchcraft worker, man, a witch. You understand? He went to a witch, man, when he's supposed to have unalived all the witches out the land. He left that one, and then he went to that one in the end, man. And the Spirit of the Lord departed from him. He was desperate to unalive David, desperate. You see, the pursuing a man's life. That's why, what's it saying in the black neighborhood? If God is for me, who can be against us? If God is for us, who can be against us? Why is there that saying, man? Because the Lord was for David. The Lord was for Saul at first, but Saul is trying to unalive a man without a cause, man, for no reason. And if the Lord is for you, then who can be against you, man? And then after that, David was made king, man. Now, David wasn't trying to get the kingdom. David wasn't trying to take the kingdom from Saul, man. But Saul made Saul made a demon spirit creep upon his mind, man. Right? Saul made a demon creep up in his mind and saying, yo, David's going to want the kingdom, man. I need to get rid of him. Well, if you get rid of him, someone else is going to want the kingdom, man. It might be the right-hand man that you got. Don't know what his name is, but it might be him. Could be anybody. In fact, it could be him, and David is going to save, is going to help you and save your life from him, man. See what I'm saying? So while you're doing that, you don't even know what you're doing, man. Read on.
The Philistines slew Jonathan and Abinadab and Malchishua, Saul's sons. Verse 3. And the battle went sour against Saul, and the archers hit him.
And what hit him?
Archers hit him.
And he got fired by a dart, man. The archers hit him. The battle went what? Sour. Heavy, man. The battle was heavy against Saul, and the archers hit Saul, man. They got through whatever he's wearing. The archers hit him. Read on. He was wounded.
And he was sore wounded of the archers.
Right. Heavily wounded, man.
Then said Saul unto his arm bearer, draw thy sword and thrust me through therewith.
Right. And he said, you know what? To his armor bearer, draw your sword and unalive me, man. Finish me off. All right? Because if he doesn't, the Philistines is going to come and do it anyway. But I don't want those uncircumcised Philistines to thrust me through, man. You do it. That's a hard job. That's a hard job to do as well, man. You know what I'm saying? On the battlefield with a man, and you're going to have to do that. That's hard, man. All right? But that's war for you. War is gruesome, man. War's not pretty, man. All right? But, yeah, we're raising up the army of the Most High, nevertheless, man. We're raising up the army of the Lord. So instead of you fighting your brethren, we got a common enemy, man. That's called the oppressors today, man. In the Western Hemisphere. The ones that subdue us into slavery, man. That's a common enemy. Now, I'm not telling no one to go out and unalive nobody or harm nobody, man. What I'm telling the brethren to do is let's get our minds right. Let's have the spirit like Jonathan and David, man. You understand? Let's restore brotherhood, man. Let's restore that with our nation. Let's not be sellouts for 30 pieces of silver, which you're not going to enjoy, man. You're even going to enjoy. I saw I was one native Indian sister, man, and she talked about Trump was doing God. Trump is God or whatever, or doing God's will. Trump is the next God, something like Trump is God. And they deported him, man. The ICE came and deported him, man. See, you trying to think you're on the side of the oppressors. That there is no siding with the oppressors, man. All right, you need to come back to your people. That's what you need to do. All right, and that's the class, man. All right, over to you. Tilaki, yeah, plus 3, right? That was it. Was that it, Radar?
No, he says, thrust me through.
Oh yeah, read on.
therein,
Read on. Mm-hmm.
lest these uncircumcised come and thrust me through and abuse me. But his arm bearer would not, for he was so afraid. Therefore Saul took a sword and fell upon it.
There you go, man. See that? Saul took a sword and fell upon it himself. He didn't want to thrust him through, and also that it depends if he was around too, because if it's just him and he's gonna, thrust him through, then other brothers are gonna see it and thinking he unalived the king. So there's different reasons why he didn't thrust him through, man. But Saul just took his sword and fell upon it himself, right? But in the whole thing, all the way down from prior to 18, all the way that Saul unalived himself, man, through jealousy. You know what I'm saying? And being envious, man. And that jealousy led to his raging against himself. And David even helped him fight, man. David helped him to save his life. He still didn't. Jonathan went and told him what David did, reminded him what David did, and that David slew the Philistines for you, man. Otherwise, we would have been servants to the Philistines. If there's no one to fight the Philistines, because nobody wanted to step up, man. But David said, "Listen, I'll go, man. I'll slew this uncircumcised Philistine, man." Right? And if he didn't do that, then the Israelites would be under the Philistines, man. So Saul wouldn't even be he wouldn't be no king. You'd have to be under the Philistines of being a servant, man. So look at all what David did for you, and look at what you're trying to do to David now, right? And to the point where you took your own life, man. All right? Don't be that kind of sinner. Don't let that demon creep upon you where you're gonna hate your brethren in so much and you want to unalive him for nothing, man. All right? So much that you want him gone. All right? We need to change, man. Our mindset needs to change. With all of this in the hood, this is what we have in the hood, and all that needs to change, man. Got the red against the blues and all those things. All that needs to change, man. What they call the Bloods and the Crips, all of that, man. That needs to change. We need to have that brethren, that brotherly love, like what Jonathan and David have, man. You know what I mean? With that, pass the class over to Radar.
Copy up. Give the teacher one courteous salute.
Yeah.
Menevizo, Amadio.
Select it, one sec. Yeah.
Amadio Shubat. Amadio. Barak. Yahaba Shimi Awashah Brakatah.
Yahaba Shimi Awashah Brakatah.
Surgeon Matar, Sar, give the sisters a courteous salute. Amadio Shubat. Amadio Barak. Yahweh Shubat. Yahweh Shubat. Surgeon Matar, class dismissed.
Kind no sign class, man. All right, the water for the reader. All right, we'll be here again tomorrow, man. All right, tomorrow's class is an online class with Officer Dangaba, man, bringing out the history. All right, I'm gonna say Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Brakatham to the brothers, Yahweh Shema Lathan, Hashem Yahushua to the sisters, man. Also, lucky to check out Real-Time Revelations as well, man, on a Sunday by Officer Rahalban too. All right, Shalom.